Now we're going to be talking a little bit about polylines. The polyline tool is found here. What I'm going to do is bring my tool panel down there, increase the size of our top viewport, and here we are. Now I can create a line, and there it is. This tool here creates just a single line, point to point, and you're finished. A polyline technically means many lines. That's this tool here. That allows me to keep going and create an angular connected shape or curve. I can do the same here with a right click to create a polyline that's made of connecting line segments. Then instead of being one piece, each segment is separate. I could then of course highlight them and use my join tool to create one line if I needed. From midpoint, as you can see, allows me to create a line from the midpoint, choosing half the length, while the rest is mirrored on the other side. A couple of other interesting tools here to note. Convert curve to polyline, polyline through points, or polyline on mesh. Well, let's check out polyline from points. I'm going to use my multiple points tool here and just create a bunch of sort of points here. Right click when I'm finished. I'll select polyline through points. It says select points to build curve through. Since I'd like to select all of them, I'm just going to go ahead and draw a box. Now they're all highlighted. I'll press enter. As you can see, it's created a curved line through our points. Press enter to accept settings, and there we have it. I'm going to highlight all this and press my delete key. Now this is an interesting tool, convert curve to polyline. Well, the difference between a curve and a polyline is that a polyline is made up of basically straight segments. So if you see a curve that's this smooth, that's going to mean that it needs a lot of points to connect many very small segments. If I use my control points, you can see there's that many points creating the curve. I'll right click to turn that off. But now let's use our curve to polyline tool, and there you see it. Some of these points, as you can see, are further apart. For example, these two here and here, because this part of the line is actually straight. Every time there's a bend in the line, we need another point. And that's how a polyline works. So I'll delete that. Now I'm going to use my polyline on mesh tool to do that. I'm going to create a mesh sphere right about here. Click my tool, click my mesh, and then we can create our polyline. As you can see from this angle, this line is actually bending around my sphere. If I preview this, I see only the sphere because the line is still simply a line. However, one way to demonstrate its existence to you would be to extrude it. Now let's take a look. So there you can see that the line is actually fairly complicated. You can see a lot of bends, eddies, and edges in my extruded curve here. If I were then to delete my sphere, you can see that the bottom of this shape is actually curved. And so as you can see, our polyline tool has a lot of features. There are many other tools here in the tool window for polylines, but most of these you won't really need to be concerned about just getting into Rhino. Tangent, tangent from curve, tangent and perpendiculars, perpendicular to two curves, etc. One thing I will demonstrate for you quickly, creating two curves, perpendicular, simply creates a line connecting the two. But an alternate and often easier way to do that would be to simply select my two curves, turn on my control points, turn on O-snap at point, create a line which snaps to these points. I'll go from there to there, right-click, and now I've created a line that connects the two. The three of them can even be joined together to form a single line. So again, just to review, a polyline is simply a line that instead of being controlled by points which bend the object like so, these points have a weight that tug on my object. The polyline is actually points on the line itself that represent every small, flat, and straight line that make up a curved shape. Because even the most complex curves are actually created from many small straight lines.